West Virginia just lost out on the biggest piece of the 2023 class, in my opinion, to Houston, of all places, and Dana Holgorson. We're also going to cover the J.T. Daniels transfer. If you don't know, J.T. Daniels has transferred again. We're going to talk about both of these things on the other side of the intro on this episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football.
This is for Cameron.
What is up? Welcome in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and you have landed yourself once again at Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. Before we get started, guys, do me a favor. If you are not subscribed to Mountaineer Paul, do me a favor and give me a little subscription here, and you're going to interact with me today. I would really appreciate that. Go ahead and drop a comment below and let me know what you think on the show, guys, and let me know how you feel about the situation. I will say, the sky is not falling, but this is a big loss. 2023 defensive tackle Justin Benton Jr. out of Newton High School in Georgia, former IMG Academy star, has been flipped. To make matters worse, Dana Holgorson was the person that did this. You just got to feel like this was purposeful. This feels like Holgorson was just digging it in one last time. Of course, Justin Benton's a really good player. No doubt about that, and he could go anywhere in the country he wants to go. It just bothers me that Holgorson is the guy that recruited him. And it just makes me hope that somehow, some way, Houston plays in Morgantown when the schedule comes out in a couple of weeks, so that Justin Benton can get him some Zach Frazier. I'm sorry. I'm a little salty about this, guys. Of course, these kids can go anywhere they want. I'm not going to here to publicly shame Justin Benton. Obviously, he can go wherever he wants. I don't mean this to come off that way. This is a big loss for the Mountaineers, though. And he was really supposed to plug the hole left by Dante Stills and now Jefferson after the recent transfer. But it sounds like, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Converted linebacker, Justin Benton's one of the better defensive tackles in the country, like I said. He had explosion. He could rush the passer from the defensive tackle spot. He's a little undersized, but he's got power. He was going to be a huge gift for us, guys, and I can't stress enough how big of a deal this is. Obviously, we're going to have to address the defensive tackle spot via the portal, maybe another recruit. The high school ranks comes in, but this is a big loss, guys. I was really looking forward to the three-headed monster of Josiah Trotter, James Hurd Jr., and Justin Benton. Also Ben Cutter as well. I don't want to leave out Ben Cutter. But the good news is those three players did sign today. Like I said, the sky is not falling, but losing Justin Benton is a big deal to me. And so I had to go ahead and get on here and get it off my chest. He was my favorite player in this class, and I was a big fan of his, and I think he does have an NFL future. Think of an Aaron Donald type player, and that's what Justin Benton is. And we kind of saw the writing on the wall, didn't we? He goes to Texas. He's looking around. He's going to Houston. You hear these different things. And so I thought personally, I must have been in denial. I thought he was just doing his due diligence. These kids get a certain amount of trips they can make for free. And sometimes they just go on them to go on the trip. Don't know if he planned to flip the whole time or if they flipped him at the last minute, but unfortunately they have and did. So it's unfortunate, guys. Moving on from that, J.T. Daniels has found a new home. That's right. The former Mountaineer quarterback has found a new home, and that is with the Rice Owls. And it's an interesting choice for J.T. Daniels. Offensive coordinator Marcus Tuiasosopo, if you're an older guy like me, you'll remember played at the University of Washington. And later on with the Oakland Raiders, the offensive coordinator there. Also, Coach Mike Bloomgren, who runs a pro-style offense. The Owls are a team that, while they went 5-8 this year, a lot of people believe they're going to be a much better team as they move on into the AAC, have an uptick in playing competition. But it's a more pro-style offense, probably a little better suited to JT's skill set. The Owls are a team that returns all their starters except quarterback and center. So they think that he could be a missing piece for them. And listen, not really sure, guys. We don't know what happened to JT last year. I think a lot of us speculate that he got hurt at some point, and so not to seem as he may be damaged goods, didn't want the scouts to think that he was damaged goods. And so maybe he covered up an injury, right? That's what a lot of us think because he stunk it up down the stretch. It's no secret. I see people on message boards kind of glossing over that fact, saying this is a big coup for the Owls. Maybe it is. Maybe he'll play better against lesser competition. Certainly, he played better in the beginning of the year for us than he did towards the end. Don't know if the wear and tear on his body had a factor with that. Obviously, he had the most usage he had ever had in his career. Maybe he just hit a wall. There are several things it could be, and maybe the Owls get a player that is finally ready to step in and be the person he's always meant to be. And it wouldn't be a cool cap to his story for this to happen. I wish no ill will towards J.T. Daniels. He came and worked hard for us. He was a good student. He was a good player. While not the most personable guy, not the greatest outward leader, he certainly worked with a quiet confidence and is somebody that I respected while he was here. Certainly after the Pitt game, how could you not love the way he played those first two games against Pitt and Towson and against Kansas? Those first three games of the year, he played excellent, and on into Virginia Tech when he threw the touchdown and the seam to Sam James. Those are really where the memories stop for me. And then Texas Tech, Texas, and games like that started to happen where we were scoring barely out of the single digits in the 10, 11, 12-point range. And we're just getting absolutely thumped. No offense, no mobility at the quarterback spot. And unfortunately, JT just wasn't a fit for us in those type of environments. Our receivers weren't getting a lot of separation. He was missing tight window throws. It looked like against Texas Tech, maybe something had happened to his shoulder. We're not sure. We're still trying to figure out what that whole thing was. But at the end of the day, he has moved on to a sports school now. Interestingly enough, the Owls play Texas to start the year next year, and he will be the first player in history, if he wins the starting job there, to play against Texas at three different schools. So JT is breaking records, but probably all in the wrong ways. How do you guys feel about these two things, guys? Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about the J.T. Daniel situation. Let me know what you think about Justin Benton and him being flipped by the villain that Dana Holgorson is. Certainly, it'll be interesting to see how he reacts to the Mountaineers going forward. And you know, in this day and age, guys, I'll remind you of one thing. In this day and age, re-recruitment is as important as pretty much anything else. Players flip to other teams on signing days, and then when they hit the transfer portal, a lot of times, a team that they were really focused in on the first time around is a team they go to the second time around, right? They realize they made a mistake. So let's not hassle this kid too much. Certainly it's okay to be upset, but there's no need to call him out, say anything too overly negative. Being frustrated is one thing. Attacking somebody is a totally different thing. This is a 18-year-old kid at the end of the day. So I would just urge everybody to keep that in the back of their minds. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in to this episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. We'll be doing a National Signing Day on Coogs' Corner this evening at 8 o'clock. I'll be joined there with Travis Kenobi, Justin Cruz, and also Coogs from Coogs' Corner. We'll be talking about all the signings throughout the day. Also, guys, I have messages that I'm going to share with you from a few of the players. I'm going to be trying to contact some more players, but I've got players like Jaheim White, Torrey Johnson Jr. that I've corresponded with. Just ask them a few questions so you guys can get to know them better. Certainly, I think that would be a big deal. So that's going to be a fun thing to do later on, guys. So hope to see you guys at Coogs' Corner at around 8 o'clock tonight, guys. All right, guys, I think that pretty much covers it. Just let me know below, guys. Like I said, like the video if you haven't liked it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. And let me know, how do you feel about the two things we talked about this morning, guys? This has been another episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. This episode is over. Mountaineer Paul is out.
This is for camera. fucking kill. Oh.